Hi everybody, with the recent flurry of Battle Royale games being released, I say flurry, it's been over the last sort of several months, I thought it might be a good time just to kind of take a step back and kind of discuss what I think are the best Battle Royales in order of realism. Now, the gameplay you're watching in the background is actually H1Z1, a free Battle Royale game available on the PlayStation 4 and I guess on PC. Not sure if it's available on Xbox or not. Because I think that H1Z1 is probably the best free-to-play Battle Royale if you really enjoy PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. In fact, I would argue that if you enjoy PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, it's worth downloading and playing Battle Royale H1Z1. Maybe not really for the Battle Royale, to be honest, although it is fun. It has this amazing training mode where you can run around and just shoot people. And it's great, and people just spawn in and you run around and you shoot people, and it is really good. But let's get back on track. So Apex Legends came out recently. I'd like to say much anticipated, but it wasn't much anticipated because we didn't really know about it in advance. But when we heard about it a few days before, when the rumours started circulating, it was much anticipated then because it was coming from Respawn Entertainment, who are famous for developing Titanfall 2, Titanfall 1, and previously they worked on Call of Duty's Modern Warfare series. So here we go. So in terms of realism, I think if you're starting with Battle Royales, you've got to start with Fortnite, haven't you? You know, that's the least realistic one we have. You could argue that to win Fortnite, you've got to concentrate on your building skills even more than really your gunplay skills as well, because if you start shooting at somebody, if they're a good player, they'll immediately start building and they'll start shooting at you behind cover. You know, you can create your own head glitches. Now, I'm not saying Fortnite's a bad game, I'm just saying it's a different game, and for me, it's not really for me anymore. When it first came out, I had loads of fun with Fortnite because it was the only Battle Royale available on the PlayStation. We didn't have PUBG. And in those first heady months, or weeks probably, people didn't really know how to build, and so most of the Battle Royales, the Victory Royales that you would win were gunfight based. You know, there wasn't that much building, so that was really good fun. But ultimately, with the building and the third person view where you don't ADS all the time when you look down your sights, I think, you know, Fortnite's got to be at the bottom of the pile. Now, next up in order of realism, this might shock people. I think Apex Legends is really the next one. I was really hoping that with Apex Legends, Respawn would give us that darker atmosphere that you get with Titanfall. You know, this is serious business. We've got these giant mechs that can be called in from the sky. Unfortunately, not in Apex Legends, you can't. But it's much more cartoony than I would have liked, with the way that the characters talk to each other in the game, and with the backup story, the setup that you get before the game and in the launch trailers and the such, which is a bit disappointing. But you can understand they're going after the Fortnite market. You know, they're going after the Overwatch market, and you know, that's the way it is. So that's a little bit unfortunate, really. Now, next up in terms of realism, you'd probably have to talk about Call of Duty's Blackout, the Battle Royale there. Now, the gunplay in Call of Duty's Blackout from Black Ops 4 is exceptional. It feels really, really good until you come up against people with armour, and Apex Legends has just the same problem in the fact that you end up with enemies that are very, very bullet spongy, and you can have an assault rifle like the AK-57, is it? And basically you've got to unload an entire clip into people, and I don't particularly like that, and I don't particularly like the reliance on gadgets as well. You know, it's to win victories in Blackout. a lot of it comes down to which gadgets you've got as well. You know, have you got dead silence? Have you got awareness? Have you got all that armor? Maybe you've got a grappling hook. Maybe you've got the sensor dart so you can know where people are. And that's a little bit disappointing for me. Now, I've enjoyed playing Blackout. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's a good game. But the fact that we have this the smaller map. I know it's bigger than the Fortnite map, and it's a little bit bigger than the Apex Legend map. But you don't really have the tactical decision making that you can make with the likes of PUBG. You know, there's not enough room for those decisions to be made, so that's why that one's next on my list. Definitely worth playing, especially if you like Call of Duty. But they've definitely got some problems with balancing the game with the armor to make it be a lot less frustrating. Now, next up in terms of realism, and I think the best free-to-play battle royale is this game here, H1Z1. Now, I know it looks a bit basic. Compared to Vikendi, it even looks worse than PUBG now. When actually, when it came out, it was kind of on a par with Erangel. It runs fairly smooth, again probably on a par with PUBG. But what you're getting with H1Z1 is this more realistic type of shooter, with normal weapons, with fairly normal attachments. The attachments are already on there. You know, you can pick up your armor, you can pick up your helmet, you can pick up your backpacks, pick up your meds. The sniper rifle, assault rifle, shotguns, all this sort of stuff, vehicles, but there's not this preponderance of gadgets to unbalance the game when you're playing. There's a really nice big map. Not too fond of the way that it just randomly drops you in the map somewhere at the start of the game. You don't really get to choose where you're going to go, but there's lots of vehicles, so you can choose to reposition yourself around the map depending on where the circle's going to be. The guns feel basic. They don't have the punch and the almost tactile feedback you get from the likes of Apex Legends or Call of Duty's Blackout. But the way that the bullets hit and you get kills is a lot less frustrating. You don't tend to end up with the same bullet spongy enemies that you get with Apex Legends and Call of Duty's Blackout and Fortnite as well, to be honest, that way. And if you haven't checked out H1Z1, I would definitely say give it a go, the Battle Royale, because it is a lot of fun. And as I said in the intro to the video, maybe not completely just about the Battle Royale. What I really enjoy is I think it's called training mode or war mode, where you're just spawning into a map, and I think you spawn in with weapons as well, and obviously you can find weapons around the map. But if you die, you respawn in again, and you just run around killing people, and everybody just running around having a good time. It's a bit like a game of Battlefield, to be honest, on a large map with no squads, and it gets you familiar with the mechanics of the game, how the weapons feel, picking things up, cycling through your weapons, using grenades, using the meds, all that sort of stuff, and that's pretty good. Now, hopefully, H1Z1 will maintain its player base over, the next few months. It's not as flashy as Apex Legends or Fortnite or Blackout, so that might remain to be seen how well it does. But definitely pick it up, check it out, give the developers some support, and enjoy a nice alternative, a free alternative to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But of course, the most realistic battle royale has to be PUBG, doesn't it? It's still king of the hill, in my opinion. Unbeaten in terms of the way that the guns feel. No aim assist here, we don't mess around with that. The strategic and tactical choices that you can put into place, because you have the space to do so and the time to do so. We've now got 4 maps. We've now got the original Erangel, we've got the big Miramar map in the desert, we've got the small hectic jungle map with Sanhok, and we've got, I'm going to say, the perfect Battle Royale map with Vikendi. The game's running smoother with every update. I know there's the occasional step backwards, but most of the time it feels very good indeed. And yeah, super enjoying PUBG. So there we go. That's my list of Battle Royales in order, not only of realism, but in my probably how I would rate them in terms of the best ones as well. Fortnite at the bottom of the pile. Sorry, people. Next up, Apex Legends. Then Call of Duty's Blackout. Then we've got this game, H1Z1, with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds at the top of the list. So what I'll do now is, I'll just let the gameplay play out. I think I get into the top 10 with this, because I just wanted to let you soak up the atmosphere with H1Z1. It might not be my favourite Battle Royale, but it is free, and it's worth checking out. And, yeah, I enjoy it very much, but PUBG is still my favourite. Anyway, what do you think? What's your favourite Battle Royale? What is the most realistic Battle Royale? Put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoy the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.